So, Disney has finally done it. They've put Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on hold. I can't honestly say that I'm surprised. By now it's pretty clear that the House of Mouse made a somewhat foolish decision by firing James Gunn as the director of their third space adventure superhero movie. Jumping the gun, pun definitely intended, may have started as a move to try and save face for the company, but it's ended up creating an unprecedented backlash. Leaving aside the murky subject of whether or not Gunn should ever have thusly been dealt with for his past comments, Disney's current predicament is unusual. This isn't a case, as with Edgar Wright's Ant-Man. Disney can't simply plug in any available director and call things good. No matter what happens, an eventual Guardians 3 will be unable to escape the legacy of this entire ordeal. If Disney finds someone to replace James Gunn, the movie director in question will be up against tremendous scrutiny. Many fans will likely announce that they hate the film on principle, even if the movie uses Gunn's original script. As we all know, comic book fans never deal particularly well with change. But should Disney attempt to bring Gunn back into the fold, the film will still suffer from poor reputation. Every single press junket for the movie would involve probing questions, as journalists far more talented than myself attempt to get Gunn to spill the beans about what actually happened behind closed doors surrounding his firing. Ultimately, no matter what happens, the movie will go down in history as the result of some very poor decision making on the part of Walt Disney's board of directors. Any perceived failing within the film will be blamed specifically on Disney as a company, and nobody will ever forgive the studio's executives for their itchy trigger fingers. So, with this inescapable Kobayashi Maru before them, it does make sense that Disney has put the film on hiatus. Trying to push forward at this moment would no doubt result in a subpar cinematic experience, especially as filming was supposed to start imminently, and the project still lacks a director. It might honestly be in Disney's best interest to cancel the film outright and leave the Guardians franchise as a duology rather than a trilogy. This wouldn't even mean a lot of extra planning for Marvel Studios. Back before Gunn signed on to be the director of Guardians Volume 3, there was speculation as to whether he wanted to remain attached to the franchise. He did genuinely seem to consider walking away from a third film altogether, although in fairness this might have simply been a bargaining move to ensure a larger paycheck for Volume 3. In all honesty, if that was his motivation, more power to him. But the fact remains that Marvel was once set to continue on without Gunn, and I suspect they already know the course of action to take next. Not every Marvel superhero needs a 3-picture story arc. Take the Incredible Hulk for example. This character got a single lackluster film right back at the start of the MCU, before being shunted onto the sidelines. Arguably his best appearance since then is in Thor Ragnarok, where he plays a supporting character. Similarly, I could see Marvel splitting up the Guardians as a result of Gunn's firing and using them in more unorthodox roles. They could appear as side characters in other cosmic Marvel stories. Drax and Gamora could accompany Captain Marvel on whatever adventure she undertakes after Infinity War Part 2. Rocket and Groot could stay on Earth and play second and third fiddle respectively in the wacky Winter Soldier movie that we've all been desperate for. Seriously, if Marvel made a movie about Bucky, Rocket and Groot all teaming up together, I expect it to be one of their biggest successes to date. And as for Peter Quill, Star-Lord, the almighty Chris Pratt, there's no denying that he is not the most popular character in the Marvel pantheon right now. Should the studio really want to help him shine again, he'd make a great mentor figure for Peter Parker. I can see the two Peters running around together, getting into scrapes, as Star-Lord plays the role of the MCU's new man out of time, rediscovering everything wonderful that he's missed in his time away from Earth. All of this, though, neglects the more pressing issue that's likely weighing on the minds of Kevin Feige and the rest of the creative team at Marvel. James Gunn was meant to be their superstar. He wasn't just going to oversee the Guardians of the Galaxy, but a whole new series of Marvel cosmic films filled with intergalactic superheroes. At least one of these films was going to be Rocky in space. Well, Sylvester Stallone in space, which is basically the same thing. There's no way Marvel wants to pass up this opportunity. But now Gunn has departed, or rather been forced to depart. I find it very suspicious that the overseer of Marvel's space opera wing would be ousted like this, immediately before Comic-Con, in a year when Lucasfilm suffered such a tremendous embarrassment in the form of Solo: A Star Wars Story. Different members of the Disney Senior Executive Board have different responsibilities. Some oversee Marvel, while others are in charge of Lucasfilm, and it was these executives that forced Solo into theatres just 6 months after The Last Jedi. While I don't suspect Kathleen Kennedy of any misdoings herself, I'd imagine there are several higher-ups at Disney who would be eager to see Marvel's cosmic series take a serious hit in order to keep their own interests alive. The House of Mouse is not a single homogeneous entity. The fact that Gunn was immediately fired before Comic-Con suggests that the timing was very convenient. Some Disney executives saw an opportunity to wound Marvel, and they took it. So what happens next? I imagine that Marvel attempts to rebuild. Taika Waititi is the obvious choice to replace James Gunn as the overseer of the cosmic MCU, but there is every chance that he wouldn't actually want the job. The working environment seems fairly hostile, to say the least. We could see more projects face the axe as a result of Gunn's departure. This blow doesn't just affect the Guardians, but also the entire landscape of the MCU going forward. There's every chance that by killing Guardians Volume 3, Marvel might be preparing for a more diverse, vibrant set of new space operas that could take its place. Something tells me that this will all eventually work out. The MCU didn't grow to be the juggernaut that it is today without overcoming a few road bumps along the way. Personally, I'm now more interested to see where James Gunn ends up. Whatever he does next, it'll likely be some of his more creative, inventive work. Breakups are great for getting the creative juices flowing. Anyone who's seen Shrek can tell you that when Disney spurns a famous creator, the result isn't always pretty.